Everyone can hear me properly? Aryan, Piyush, Prem, Varun, Kshitij, and
Yes, sir.
Saket. Okay, perfect. We will be practicing the group exercise. ये previous year एक कोई तो भी group exercise में same पूछा गया था in what do you say एक कोई तो भी स्नैप के इंटरव्यू प्रोसेस में. सो सिमिलर लाइंस पे हम आज हमारा ग्रुप एक्सरसाइज करने वाले हैं. यू विल हैव 2 minutes टू रीड द इंस्ट्रक्शंस. आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग कि आप अच्छे से इंस्ट्रक्शंस पढ़ोगे and then you will be given some time to talk. Followed by that there will be a group discussion as well in this particular session. ठीक है? So I hope you read the instructions properly and then we move ahead. ठीक है? चलो, let us go ahead. Let me take you there. You have 2 minutes to read the instructions. I know you must be done with reading the instructions, but you still have 1 more minute left. Please go through the instructions again. Let us not commit a mistake that we committed in our previous group exercises. तो अच्छे से देखो, ठीक है? Today one of the easiest group exercises of snap exam is what we are going to conduct. Generally हम काफी difficult group exercises भी conduct करते हैं, है ना? तो जैसे आपने लास्ट वाला ग्रुप एक्सरसाइज देखा होगा वो काफी डिफिकल्ट था एज कंपेयर टू टुडेज ग्रुप एक्सरसाइज. Once I show you the professions, you will have 1 minute to think, and then I'll ask each one of you to discuss about your opinion. Okay, let us move ahead. Okay, chalo, let us start. Prem, can you please go ahead first?
Yes, sir. So, according to my opinion, the profession of social worker is the toughest one. So, I am giving some point. First of all, I will talk about the financial aspect of social worker. In India, whenever we talk about social worker, then we can imagine, their association with various NGOs or some of the organizations. So, the recent passing of FCRA Act, which is basically regulate the contributions which come to the social worker which are associated with NGO. They are now are more regulatory in nature, which are acting like an obstacle for the flow of finances. Second, I will talk about the death of some activists regarding, for example, we know about the RTI Act of 2005. Various social workers which try to know about the different information about the different schemes. So some of the mafias and the criminal which are associated with those schemes who were benefiting, they actually were the perpetrator. They were actually caused various problems for those activists. So I think the RTI activists, which are also social workers, say so they were actually basically on the other side of these things. Now we talk about the caste slur. When we talk about the in Bihar and Jharkhand, there are various organizations which are actively engaged in the upliftment of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes population. But when they enter into the zones, they are often even those are those even those groups of oppose the social workers. Even they are working for their benefit. Even the upper class people of those society even they oppose the
Yes,
social
okay,
worker
okay,
on the.
okay,
Okay.
okay. Varun, can you go next?
Yes, according to me, sir, surgeon is one of the toughest professions, as I feel like surgeon is directly linked to life and death of a person, and it comes with a lot of stress, and any wrong move can lead to his career getting over, and like a person dying on the bench, and seeing that death changes a person in many various ways, and along with it they have to do long hours of work initially, which also comes with a lot of burden. So that is the reason as to why I feel a surgeon is a very tough job.
Okay. Aryan, next.
Sir, according to me, I too support Varun Jain as surgeon is the hardest, toughest profession I have seen over the years. As first of all, surgeons they need to keep their medical knowledge up to date, as there may be new diseases or other various complications which they have not seen till today, till their current date, but they'll have to experience this in the future. And also they have to work for long hours, as mentioned previously. Besides, they sometimes get to underpaid also. And other than that, the life and death of person depends on them, as they have to make various choices depending upon the situation of the patient. uh,
Okay. Okay, Aryan. Kshitij, next.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So, according to me, paramedic is the toughest profession out of these 20 professions because paramedics are the first ones who are actually on the scene. And one wrong thing or one wrong decision from them can actually be a life or death situation for the person in question. And apart from that, the emotional and physical toll that the job takes on them, because even if they do everything correctly and a patient dies, it has to affect your mental health, as well as the long working hours might affect your physical health as well. So, according to me, paramedic is one of the toughest professions in the given list. Thank you.
Okay. Saket.
Thank you, sir. According to me, air traffic controller, the ETC, is the toughest profession, and the reasons for it are. I would like to start with the accessibility or the way of getting into or being a air traffic controller is very difficult. It is not available all throughout the country. Only a few metro cities have it. Second thing, the learnability, the skill set required to be a traffic controller is very high, and you have to give multiple exams and go through various selections to get into it. The next thing is the ROI, or the return on investment. Anyway, the classes for becoming an ATC start anywhere upwards of 4 lakh rupees, and also a preparation of 2 years is needed to crack that exam, which is very difficult. Then moving on to the working conditions. Working conditions of air traffic controller can be anywhere between 3 to 4 hours continuous, taking just a half an hour break and moving on to the second shift. And for those 3 to 4 hours, the person cannot even shift their eyes, or cannot even remove their headphones from their screens, as they are basically souls of hundreds and thousands of passengers are dependent on their decision making. Also, the legal battles which ATCs have to go through after any minor or major accident are very difficult, and people lose their jobs even after even if it is not their mistake, and it is the pilot's mistake or any other person's or the airline's mistake. Uh, so because of these reasons, I feel that ATC is the most difficult.
Okay. Prem. Ne, Piyush,
Yes, sir.
sorry.
Thank you, sir. According to me, shape their it is a toughest profession for them, because there are two types of shape in our India, in urban shape and rural shape. Rural shape, they are paying nearly 12,000 per month or 15,000 per month. They are paying like that, but they have the pressure of event manager. They are putting pressure on them because of the tasty food. And in rural areas, we saw that they are preparing the food for 1,000 to 2,000 people at one time. So under the wages they are working. So that's why for me it is a toughest profession in that field.
Okay. It is 6:25 now. You have 10 minutes to discuss about top 10 toughest professions uh, amongst these 20 professions given to you.
I think whatever we have discussed. So apart from those professions, so I think Varun has talked about surgeon. Aryan has talked about also surgeon. So surgeon will be common, and Kshitiz has talked about paramedic, and
Yes.
Saket air traffic controller. So our arguments will be approximately same. For these professions. Apart from these professions, we can choose some more professions which has not been discussed. So what do you guys think about teacher profession of teacher?
I feel apart like yes, please continue. Varun.
Yeah, I feel like a teacher is a very stressful job, so we can consider it. But I was thinking firefighter should be one to consider as well.
Obviously,
Yes.
but
Yes,
okay.
according adding to Varun's point, I think firefighter should also be included in the top 10 list because as compared to surgeon or a paramedic or ATC, it also deals with real life and death situations and can be considered as one of the toughest jobs.
Even I think
Yes.
Varun and Aryan has talked about surgeon. So basically,
Yeah.
we can also talk about some of the examples of the recent incident of Kerala or West Bengal, which has which was in news, which was related to doctors. So basically, they are
Yeah,
also
Yes.
we
in
can
very
also.
We can
yeah.
also talk
Hello.
about the truck driver because they are underpaid nowadays, and government is not
Okay.
giving any services to them.
So,
I
Yeah,
too
we
would
can.
so
like to add a
guys,
point.
We should talk. Yeah, yeah.
so can I
I too
speak
would like
now?
to add a point.
Yes, Aryan.
Uh, as truck driver and train drivers should also be included, as these two are stressful jobs, which includes dealing with a lot of stress as well as the danger to the other public, as if they in case they slept or were sick, it may cause
Correct.
accident.
So
It is a
Okay.
very
I think
valid point, Aryan, but I think we should also include the profession of being a lawyer. Firstly, the preparations required to be a lawyer, it's like a 5 years bachelor degree, then the master's, and specializing into one area. And it also deals with real people and lives of real people, given the recent events of the divorce cases and rising cases in India. I think a
Correct.
lawyer directly is responsible for making or ruining lives of people. So it is one of the toughest jobs.
I
Okay,
and
also
guys.
feel
one
like
So
construction workers should be added because, to be honest, it is the backbone of our country, and construction workers' life is very hard and very
No,
true.
I
traumatizing
think
at times.
Yeah.
we can include some of the more points associated with construction worker. Whatever the social securities which are which are for basically regular workers, they are not mostly for
Yeah,
construction worker. Even the the some of the funds which are associated with construction worker, they are not getting properly utilized. So, and one thing I want to add is taxi driver. Recent emergence of gig economy. For example, they have basically taxi drivers have basically affected due to gig economy. There are positive sides, but there are also negative sides associated with it.
yeah. Along with it, I think mental health counselors should be added because regularly dealing with mentally ill patients could directly affect them their mental health as well. And it is a really tough job because one wrong decision could cause the patient to kill themselves or
And
anything related to it.
one
Okay,
I want
guys.
to add. I want to
Prem,
add
can I
one
just
point.
have 1 second?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So I have been listening to what everyone has been saying, and we have already used the 5 minutes of our time. So I have been making a list of some of the
Okay.
professions that I feel we can agree on.
Okay.
So I think the first one is surgeon,
Great.
the second is paramedic,
Okay.
then
Okay.
third is social worker,
Okay.
Yeah.
then truck driver, train driver,
Okay.
Okay. It's
then
fine.
construction worker,
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
and air traffic controller, and firefighter. So we just need two more professions out of all of
I
these.
feel mental health workers
Gentlemen,
should
I
be
think that
added.
we should I agree on the truck driver and train driver points. They are very
Okay.
much valid, but I think we can consider adding to the list or replacing them with financial analyst, because
I
as we
Yes.
talked about the real life situations, we should also consider the financial problems which any company or huge losses a country can suffer because of any
correct.
wrong analysis done by analysts.
Plus the
Yes.
stress that they have to face because of their workload and their working hours makes it one of the toughest professions
Even
according to me.
even recent
I would
recent
like to add,
death. Okay, go ahead.
I would like to add waiter also, as it is a stressful job, underpaid, as well as they have to work long shifts without getting respect or other stuff like that.
I'm sorry,
Uh,
Aryan,
uh,
but I don't think compared to the other 10 professions that we have discussed, the waiter should be placed on the top 10 list,
I
I
because
feel
have
it,
I have to
Ganesh,
Guys,
agree with
we
Saket here.
I
Okay.
feel waiter may be a very hard job, but it is not really that stressful as compared to the other
Exactly.
obviously,
topics.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think we should
So,
finalize because it's time is getting out.
can I
Yes,
finalize and you can just tell me which one should not be included, right?
Okay, okay, go
for
ahead.
sure.
First is surgeon, second is paramedic, third is firefighter, fourth is ATC, fifth is truck driver, sixth
What
is
can you
train.
can you repeat? Can you repeat? Sorry, can you repeat?
First is surgeon, second is paramedic, third is firefighter, fourth is ATC, fifth is truck driver, sixth is train driver, seventh is lawyer, uh, eighth is construction worker, ninth is mental health counselor, and tenth is financial analyst. I'm having a confusion. If should we should include social worker or financial analyst?
I would
Can you
like
tell?
to recommend one thing that I feel that we can exchange or like put mental health counselor out of the list and substitute it with social worker. Because if
Okay.
I compare the two professions, I feel that a social worker is a person who's less paid than a mental health counselor, plus the working conditions of a social worker
Yeah.
are
Uh,
significantly worse than a mental health counselor, making
Obviously,
it
I
Srinath,
want
I
the
agree to
tougher
your point,
profession.
but I don't think we should replace it with a mental health counselor. We can replace it with truck driver, because we have already mentioned train driver, and it is dealing with a lot many more lives and speed and conditions. So I think we should replace
Uh,
truck
Yeah,
driver
but
with
I
mental health
feel
counselor.
truck is a really hard job because
no.
one wrong move, if he sleeps at night, he could cause a really big incident, and it is a very stressful job. So I don't
Uh,
think we should remove truck
I agree
drivers.
to your
I
point,
th-
but
I
when comparing to a social worker, I think social worker deals with a lot many people and at a larger scale than a truck driver.
I have to agree with Saket on this
even
point.
the recent emergence of examples, I have already given examples of death of
Yeah.
RTI activists. That there are various
True.
examples in
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So, guys, we
Oh,
have just 2 minutes remaining. I'll just repeat the final list so that everyone has the same list.
yes.
So, we have surgeon, we have lawyer, then we have paramedic, then we have social worker, then mental health counselor, then truck driver, train driver, construction worker, financial analyst, and air traffic controller. I feel that we can exchange financial analyst with firefighter as well.
But what if we just replace truck driver with FA and we keep mental health worker and firefighter because these are very stressful jobs. So what if the list goes on like surgeon, paramedic, firefighter, ATC, train driver, lawyer, construction worker, mental health counselor, social worker, and financial analyst. We have
Lawyer
10.
weren't in the consideration for the first list. It
Uh,
went
and
I think
surgeon.
we should.
I
I
we should
agree to the
replace.
Varun's list as he mentioned right now. I think all the professions are the toughest, like topic 10.
Okay, so
Okay, I think they should be the finalist.
okay.
could you just repeat the list once again?
Yeah, sure. Surgeon, paramedic,
Yeah.
firefighter, ATC, mental health counselor, train driver, lawyer, construction worker, social worker, and financial analyst.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
it's done.
Yes.
So we have finalized.
Okay. Piyush, can you repeat all the 10 toughest professions that you have finalized?
surgeon, paramedical, firefighter, lawyer, train driver, construction worker, uh, financial analyst, air traffic controller, and mental health counselor.
Okay. Saket, the list was correct?
Sir, just one change, replacing truck driver with social work.
Oh, okay. Chalo, let us now start with the feedback. अच्छा था. I mean, everyone contributed. That is one good thing. ठीक है. Here in this, uh, दो तीन बार मुझे ऐसा लगा कि यार you guys are going towards the payment of the profession. है ना? That is what I would not like to go in that direction. एक डायरेक्शन में ऐसा जाता था कि जहाँ पे लाइफ और डेथ सिचुएशन है ना, दैट इज समथिंग जहाँ पे वो प्रोफेशन को कंसिडर करना चाहिए, जैसे एटीसी हो गया, सर्जन हो गया, ये लाइफ एंड डेथ सिचुएशन है. एंड दूसरा, एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट मेरे हिसाब से आप लोगों ने मिस किया, जहाँ पे इमोशंस इन्वॉल्व है, जैसे स्पोर्ट्स रेफरी. वहां पे बहुत ज्यादा इमोशंस इन्वॉल्व है. इट इज ऑल्सो स्ट्रेसफुल जॉब अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, है ना? आई मीन,
Yes.
there are incidents where people uh, people in millions have been disappointed because of one wrong decision or one right decision, है ना? तो sports referee can also be considered if you give right points towards it. I am not saying कि जो आपने 10 decide किए है वो गलत decisions है या वो गलत professions है, but अगर आपने स्पोर्ट्स रेफरी बोला रहता विद द इमोशनल pressure that person has, तो it would have given a new direction. It would have shown कि यार तुम एक नए डायरेक्शन में सोच रहे हो, है ना? दैट इज व्हाट आर मोटिवेट्स कि यार मैं अपने ग्रुप डिस्कशन में थोड़ा सा कोई यूनिक पॉइंट डाल सकता हूँ क्या, है ना? मोस्ट ऑफ द पॉइंट्स वर रिलेटेड टू लाइफ और डेथ सिचुएशन और टू द पेमेंट, है ना? पेमेंट ऑफ दैट प्रोफेशन. अगर तुमने ऐसा कुछ डाला रहता रिलेटेड टू इमोशनल क्वोशंट ऑफ द ये, इट वुड हैव meant समथिंग कि आपने कुछ तो नए डायरेक्शन में भी सोचा उसके बारे में. ठीक है. लेट अस फर्स्ट स्टार्ट विद दी जो आपने वन वन मिनट का जो एक्सटेम्पोर टाइप था उसमें जो आपने दिया था. सो हु स्टार्टेड फर्स्ट? साकेत स्टार्टेड फर्स्ट? नहीं, प्रेम स्टार्टेड. यस, प्रेम स्टार्टेड फर्स्ट. एंड प्रेम स्टार्टेड विथ सोशल वर्कर, है ना? एंड सोशल वर्कर से रिलेटेड ही गेव अ लॉट ऑफ गुड एग्जांपल्स. सोशल वर्कर वाज देयर इन द फाइनल लिस्ट एज वेल.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes.
it was in the finals. Yeah.
So that is a added point, क्योंकि जो आपने रीजन दिए, यू वर एबल टू कन्विंस द अदर टीम मेंबर्स आल्सो कि भाई बहुत जरूरी है उसको लेके आने, है ना? एंड द एग्जांपल्स दैट यू गेव रिलेटेड टू सोशल वर्कर्स वो काफी रिसेंट एग्जांपल्स थे. दैट वाज वेरी गुड. तो जो आपका वन मिनट का एक्सटेम्पोर राउंड था वो आपका सही था, वेर इन यू वर एक्सटेंडिंग दैट वन मिनट. बट ठीक है, द इंटरव्यूअर कैन कट यू आफ्टर वन मिनट. तो आई मीन मेरे हिसाब से तो बहुत ज्यादा गलत चीज नहीं है वो. आफ्टर दैट अभी मैं सीधा ऑर्डर में आता हूँ. क्या वरुण ने किया था सेकंड? वरुण टॉक्ड अबाउट सर्जन. ही टॉक्ड अबाउट द लाइफ एंड डेथ सिचुएशन ऑफ सर्जन. रियली गुड पॉइंट. उसके बाद आर्यन ने किया था. आर्यन ने भी सर्जन ही बोला, है ना? एंड आर्यन ने रीजंस दिए थे, लॉन्ग वर्किंग आवर्स, बीइंग अंडरपेड एंड मेडिकल नॉलेज अप टू डेट रखना पड़ता है रिलेटेड टू सर्जन. तो when you are giving a new I mean when you are repeating the same profession, in this case profession, I would like to have better reasons for it. मतलब अभी वरुण ने सर्जन बोला है, आर्यन तुम भी सर्जन ही बोल रहे हो, तो उसके लिए बीइंग अंडरपेड इज नॉट अ वेरी सॉलिड रीजन टू इंक्लूड दैट, है ना? उससे बेटर तो फिर मैं कुछ और प्रोफेशन लेके आ जाऊं जिसके बारे में सोच के मैं बताऊंगा. ठीक है
Okay,
आर्यन, ठीक है? नोट डाउन
okay,
ना,
sir.
आप अपने अपने पॉइंट्स नोट नोट डाउन करते चलो. आई मीन इट इज गोइंग टू हेल्प यू लेटर. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
मतलब मैं तुमको यही बोल रहा हूँ कि इफ यू आर रिपीटिंग सम अदर पर्सन्स पॉइंट, इट शुड बी बैक्ड विथ अ वेरी सॉलिड रीजन, है ना?
Okay, sir.
वो सॉलिड रीजन मेरे को वहां पे मिला नहीं, है ना? इससे बेटर अगर मेरे पास कोई सॉलिड रीजन नहीं है, इससे बेटर मैं कुछ नया प्रोफेशन ढूंढ के उसके बारे में बात करूंगा।
Yes,
ठीक
sir.
है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे साकेत, साकेत डिस्कस्ड अबाउट एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर। ही आई थिंक ही हैज नॉलेज अबाउट इट, कि उसका लर्नेबिलिटी कैसी है, उसकी एक्सेसिबिलिटी, रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट, दैट वर्कड इन हिज फेवर, है ना। And when he gave those examples he had that conviction, and air traffic controller maybe बाकी लोगों को उतना नॉलेज नहीं था, he had that knowledge, तो उसने वो यूनिकनेस भी लेके आ गए, सो फॉर दैट वो एक एडेड पॉइंट्स हो गए उसको। ठीक है, क्षितिज ने बोला था पैरामेडिक्स के बारे में, इवन दो पैरामेडिक्स आर इंक्लूडेड इन द फाइनल लिस्ट ऑफ professions, 10 professions, reason that Kshitij you give कि they are the first one to receive, and बहुत मेंटल एंड फिजिकल स्ट्रेस रहता है उनको, एंड वन रॉन्ग स्टेप कैन टेक द लाइफ ऑफ द पेशेंट, ऐसा कुछ तो आपने रीजन दिया था। ऑल दीज रीजंस वर ऑलरेडी गिवन इन केस ऑफ सर्जन, है ना। तो वहां पे मेरे को कुछ ऐसा काफी नया नहीं लगा, एक्सेप्ट कि दे आर द फर्स्ट वन टू रिसीव द पेशेंट, है ना। तो बहुत ऐसा सॉलिड फर्स्ट मिनट की जो एंट्री थी या फर्स्ट मिनट का जो आपका था वो तब मुझे सॉलिड लगा नहीं, है ना। माय पॉइंट इज कि यार देखो आपने सबने अच्छा किया, एवरीवन वाज पुटिंग इन द एफर्ट्स। माय पॉइंट इज कि एट दैट टाइम हाउ मच अटेंटिव यू आर, और हाउ मच क्या कहते हैं, हाउ मच यूनिकनेस यू कैन ब्रिंग, दैट इज गोइंग टू गिव यू सम ब्राउनी पॉइंट्स। ठीक है, एंड में पीयूष यू टॉक्ड अबाउट शेफ। शेफ के बारे में आपने बोला कि 12-13 हज़ार उनकी सैलरी रहती है रूरल शेफ की, एंड उनको हजारों लोगों का खाना बनाना पड़ता है, बट देन इट इज नॉट अ लाइफ और डेथ सिचुएशन। आई मीन कैसे आधा घंटा लेट भी खाना बन गया तो कुछ ऐसा बहुत बड़ा नहीं होने वाला है ना। मतलब 8 बजे की शादी थी, 8:30 बजे खाना मिला तो कुछ ज्यादा नुकसान नहीं है ना। समझ रहे हो मेरा पॉइंट, है ना। ऑन दी अदर हैंड एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर का थोड़ा ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, वहां पे 1 मिनट का भी डिले आगे पीछे नहीं चल सकता है ना। सर्जन्स का भी सेम वैसा ही है। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट, अभी लेट अस टॉक अबाउट द ग्रुप डिस्कशन। ग्रुप डिस्कशन में पहले तो वो देख लेते हैं किसने किसने कौन से लाए। आर्यन ने ट्रक ड्राइवर लाया, विच वाज सिलेक्टेड इन द फाइनल लिस्ट, है ना। स्ट्रेस है एंड एवरीथिंग बहुत बढ़िया। पीयूष ने भी ट्रक ड्राइवर, दे आर अंडर पेड, यही बोला था। प्रेम, हाँ, यू गेव अ वेरी गुड डायरेक्शन एट द स्टार्ट, जहाँ पे 4-5 प्रोफेशन तो फाइनल हो ही गए, कि जैसे आपने डायरेक्शन दिया कि 2 लोग सर्जन बोल रहे हैं, एक जन पैरामेडिक बोल रहे हैं, इनको तो फाइनल कर ही देते हैं। एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर के रीजंस आपको अच्छा लगे उसको फाइनल कर देते हैं। सोशल वर्कर वालों वाले का आपने खुद ही दिया था, है ना। इवन तो उसके ऊपर काफी डिस्कशन हुआ इन द एंड, बट इवेंचुअली इट केम इन द फाइनल लिस्ट, दैट इज गुड फॉर यू। ठीक है, मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि आपने जो दिया था यू हैव टू बी एडमेंट अबाउट इट, बट अगर मतलब मैंने ये प्रोफेशन बोला है कि भाई लेटर से मैंने बोला कि फाइनेंशियल एनालिस्ट के बारे में मैंने फर्स्ट मिनट में बोला था, अभी वो फाइनल 10 के लिस्ट में आना ही चाहिए, उसके लिए झगड़ा करते बैठे ऐसा नहीं है, बट देन अगर आता है इट शोज दैट यू वर एबल टू कन्विंस विथ रीजंस विथ एग्जांपल्स कि यार ऐसा कि उसको फाइनल लिस्ट में आना चाहिए। ठीक है, Kshitij was good in the group discussion. Saket was good, है ना। फायर फाइटर का एग्जांपल दिया था साकेत ने। लॉयर का, इवन दो लॉयर was not selected, lawyer was selected in the final list or not
हाँ सर जरूर।
selected, so the reasons that you gave for why to include the lawyer were very good, क्योंकि you gave examples of recent events and उसका क्या impact है ना। that is something। आर्यन प्लीज बी ऑन म्यूट। ठीक है, ऐसा है। वरुण अबाउट कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्कर्स, दैट वाज अ गुड पॉइंट। एक देयर वाज अ लॉट ऑफ ट्रक ड्राइवर वाज नॉट इंक्लूडेड इन द लिस्ट, राइट, ट्रेन ड्राइवर वाज। ठीक है, ट्रक ड्राइवर के बारे में काफी डिस्कशन हुआ आपका, सम ऑफ यू वर एग्रीइंग, सम ऑफ यू वर नॉट एग्रीइंग, बट इवेंचुअली वो लिस्ट में नहीं आया। तो वरुण यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि लास्ट 1 मिनट में भी आप वो ट्रक ड्राइवर के लिए बोल रहे थे व्हेन 2-3 ऑफ देम ऑलरेडी डिनाइड इट. ठीक है. द पॉइंट हियर इज कि यू हैव टू कम एट अ कंसेंसस कि यार सब जन सेम पॉइंट पे रहे. एंड eventually in the end, Piyush, you were not able to tell all the 10 professions properly. एक आपने प्रोफेशन गलत कर दिया है ना. दैट शुड नॉट हैपन. आई मीन यू हैव टू पे अटेंशन कि आप किसको इंक्लूड कर रहे हो किसको नहीं इंक्लूड कर रहे हो. यू हैव टू
सर
मेक
वो
श्योर कि भाई आप ग्रुप.
कैन राइट एट दैट टाइम.
क्या बोल रहे हैं.
सर आप लिख सकते हैं क्या उस वक्त अपने.
हाँ लिख सकते हो ना. यू कैन कीप अ नोटबुक विथ यू है ना. यू कैन कीप इट इज गोइंग टू बी एन ऑनलाइन प्रोसेस राइट. सो इन दैट ऑनलाइन प्रोसेस दिखने तो आपके शोल्डर तक ही वाला है ना. बाद में नीचे आप लिखो है कि नहीं. यू
And
वोंट
सर
हैव अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू रिसर्च अबाउट इट है ना. 10 मिनट में खत्म हो जाता है तो वो बहुत टाइम नहीं मिलेगा. यू हैव टू थिंक ऑन योर टोज. बट आपने अगर लिख लिया रहता है तो वो ज्यादा बेटर रहता है. देखो कैसा है. आई विल आस्क ओनली दैट पर्सन जिसको मेरे को लगता है कि यार ये बता नहीं पाएगा है ना. लुकिंग एट द पार्टिसिपेशन इन द ग्रुप डिस्कशन वो मैं गेज कर सकता हूँ कि यार किसने लिखा होगा किसने नहीं लिखा होगा. सो डेफिनेटली आई विल मेक श्योर. हमने लास्ट ग्रुप एक्सरसाइज में भी देखा था. आई आस्क्ड दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्सन. वो एक स्टोरी बनाई थी हमने लास्ट ग्रुप एक्सरसाइज में. तो आई मेड श्योर कि मैं वैसे ही पर्सन को पूछूं जो अटेंटिव नहीं था है ना. एंड देन आई विल रिकन्फर्म इट विद द पर्सन हु वाज अटेंटिव. ठीक है. तो ऐसा ओवरऑल आपका ग्रुप एक्सरसाइज रहेगा. आज का ग्रुप एक्सरसाइज काफी इजी था है कि नहीं. इट वाज समथिंग कि जहाँ पे यू कुड हैव यू हैड अ लॉट ऑफ पॉइंट्स टू टॉक अबाउट. क्योंकि इतने सारे प्रोफेशन हर प्रोफेशन के आप अलग अलग चीजों के बारे में बात कर रहे हो. ठीक है. आगे के ग्रुप मतलब ग्रुप एक्सरसाइजेस मे नॉट बी दीज इजी है ना. तो ऐसे ओवरऑल प्रोसेस रहता है यार ग्रुप